Would you have ever guessed that when Alec Murdaugh went to jail and threw on that orange jumpsuit, that he would immediately start whooping up on these other inmates? Me neither. Absolutely did not see it coming. But some information has recently come out in the news. Let me just go ahead and jump straight into what's going on. Alex Murdaugh's niece, Mary Elizabeth Murdaugh, recently gave a TED Talk where she talked about her experiences with the whole, what all has happened with her family and what a nightmare that's been, and also her own personal trauma from an incident she went through, a very traumatic one, where she was assaulted. That kind of assault. I really can't say the word, unfortunately, as much as, I think it deserves to be said when we're talking about this. We need to be upfront and honest about what's happened here, but it's YouTube and I can't say that word. But she was SA'd, okay, by a man named Robert Drayton. Robert Drayton was convicted of doing this to her while she was in college, and it was actually pretty bad, pretty brutal. Drayton was arrested in May of 2021 for this. He broke into Mary Elizabeth's apartment around 4 a.m. in April of 2021 while she was a student at the University of South Carolina. Now, he went in there and just attacked her, broke her nose, strangled her, ultimately did the most awful part of this to her, and she was actually able to escape after this. And so finally in 2023, he was sentenced to 30 years to life for all that. So what does this have to do with Alec Murdaugh? Well, listen, this is back when Murdaugh was in the Alvin S. Glenn Detention Center. And apparently they housed Alec Murdaugh in the same cell block as Robert Drayton, which they're not supposed to do. The staff is supposed to be aware of these things, and it's called, in South Carolina, it's usually called a keep separate. So you have specific reasons listed in the computer in these counties and in prisons of people who are connected in these types of ways where it would potentially be a problem for them to be in the same cell block together. And so you'll have a keep separate warning on this inmate's file on the computer. And so before you go to house them, or when they first come in, they're supposed to have this information. And so when you're deciding where to put them, you're supposed to see that keep separate tab, and it's going to be like, hey, keep separate from inmate so-and-so because of this reason. Well, that went ignored. It went unnoticed by whoever was working on the job that night and was in charge of placing Alec Murdaugh into a cell block, and they put him right in there with Robert Drayton. And it was only a matter of time before something popped off. So all of this is according to his niece, Mary Elizabeth, during her TED Talk. She says that once they were in the same cell block together, Robert Drayton was the one who approached Alec Murdaugh. And so basically he came up to Alec and said something along the lines of, hey, your family is framing me. They're framing me for these charges. It's all bogus. I didn't do any of this. And this is your family's doing. They're setting me up. You guys are behind this. She goes on to say this, of course, started a big fight. Tensions went high between the two of them. And next thing you know, they're scrapping. They are scrapping. And let me tell you, the seriousness of what he did and what Mary went through and just, the actual situation, it's hard not to take a step back and just giggle at the thought. I don't know. Maybe it's just me of Alec Murdaugh throwing down in jail. Good old jailhouse scrap. Okay. I mean, what does that even look like? What does that even sound like?
What? Huh? What? What'd you say, you rascal? You want to throw down with Moselle Murdaugh? Yeah, I'll tell you now, I'm from the low country, and I do throw low blows. That's where you're wrong, son. I didn't frame you, but I will maim you. Let's tussle.
I don't know. Those are just a few that come to mind. Okay. But anyways, back to business. This is serious. They got to scrapping in that cell block. I mean, they were beating the crap out of each other. Apparently, both of them were banged up. So I don't think there was any clear winner. Nobody really just dominated the other. Nobody just got beat to a pulp and clearly got the losing end of this altercation. Apparently, they were both bruised up, bloody, and just all banged up. So after this happens, of course, they're separated. I don't know who got moved. I'm sure one of them got moved in one state or something, or both probably went to special housing unit, solitary confinement, whatever, if they charged them for the fight. And then they made sure that after they're, probably 7 to 10 days down there for your first fight, that's usually what it's going to be. And then wherever they put them after that, obviously they're going to make sure it's different cell blocks. But according to his niece again, the jail, the higher ups of the Alvin S. Glenn Detention Center were not happy at all. Once, all this happened, of course, they got this high profile inmate, Alec Murdaugh, all eyes on him. To learn that protocol was not followed, going back to what I was saying, the keep separates were not either they weren't entered or they, into the system, or they weren't paid attention to. And these two guys should have never been put into the same cell block. From a staff point of view, that should have never happened. So the fact that it did, the higher ups were not too happy about that. Now in this article, of course it's People Magazine, so they definitely reached out to the detention center for comment from them, and they say that they declined to comment, or they just haven't given any comment yet, which doesn't surprise me. They got enough crap going on over there. I'm pretty sure like 20 officers have been arrested, like ever since Murdaugh left. Everyone's getting caught either having relationships with inmates or just smuggling in cell phones. So I think they got more on their plate than talking about a fight that happened like, a year or two ago. But yeah, that's the skinny on Big Daw. Big Daw with the Big Daw will put these hands on you. Apparently, he ain't afraid. He's ready to avenge his family. Well, certain members of his family, of course. I don't know. And it's like, what do you think? Do you, on one hand, it's like, hey, you got to respect it. Yeah, he did that to your niece. And he came up to you and tried to act like it never even happened. And it's like, all right, Buster, protective mode. Like, no, you deserve this. You deserve this. And he did his best to beat that man. And apparently he put some lumps on him. And so like part of me is like, hey, I respect that. But then you realize, well, why weren't you that same man? Why didn't you have that same kind of character for the rest of your family, your even closer family, your wife, your son? It's weird, right? But anyways, it happened, and that's what it is. Now, like I said, I never would have saw that coming. And there's going to be people in the comments, Alex Murdaugh is 7'9", 310 pounds. I know he's not that, but he is tall, and he's a big old country boy. Okay. Or you think he's not going to whoop somebody in there? No, I don't think he is. I've seen plenty of people who are 6'5", 250 pounds who are scared to death of fighting people. I've seen it. So no, sorry, this guy right here. Sorry, call me crazy. He didn't strike me as the type to come in there and
For the Low Country. For Moselle.
Sorry, I didn't see him going hard like that in jail. I really didn't. But wow, what a change of perspective it's given me. And I hate to be the guy to say it, but it kind of just fuels more what I've been saying about Murdaugh. He's going to adjust to that jailhouse lifestyle. He's going to adjust. He's going to adapt. He's going to fit in. He's going to become one of those inmates, and who knows? He's in there for pretty much, life, basically now. No matter what, no matter his appeals, all that, he's it's over, right? And he's got to know this. Those are the dangerous people. I don't care what your physicality is. It's the danger comes from your mentality. You can look like a bodybuilder, and you have 6 months left before you go free. You are significantly less dangerous than a man who has never done a push-up in his life and is never going home. Because the mentality. Who's more likely to take it all the way home, take it all the way there, Let's do it. Let's get the knives. Let's kill. Let's put some metal in your neck. You think the guy who's going home in 3 months is going to do that? He's not going to do that. He wants to go home. His time is up. This guy, he's never going home. He doesn't care. What does he care? That's basically what it boils down to. So, Murdaugh, I think he's only going to become more dangerous. And he's no spring chicken. I get that. But hey, definitely it just adds a little more perspective to the persona I think he's going to take on as time goes on and as he continues to serve his sentence in there and just mix and mingle with these people who share that kind of mentality, and that becomes your world and environment, and that's just the law of the land, the name of the game. And if you're not that, what are you doing? It's very different. It's very different. So figured I'd give you an update on that. Let me know your thoughts. Let me know what you think down in the comments below, and I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.